You're in the trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics, and we're talking keys to the game against the Cleveland Browns. The first thing that jumps to your head, it has to contain the Cleveland Browns running game. They have a tremendously talented offensive line in terms of running the football. These guys come off the football in a nasty frame of mind, and they move the line of scrimmage for Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb is a force to be reckoned with. Nick Chubb leads the National Football League with 740 rushing yards, 5.9 yards per carry. Phenomenal. He's rushed for 8 touchdowns. That leads the National Football League. This guy is a very unique combination of a power running back that has breakaway speed. So he'll run you over, then run away from everybody. That is a dynamic combination, a very rare and unique combination. And he's complemented in the backfield by Hunt, Chubb, and Hunt. Hunt can run the football. Hunt is a very, very big weapon catching the football out of the backfield. They'll also formation him as a receiver. This backfield has got a 1-2 punch as good as the National Football League has. And when you look at it, the Bengals are right in the midst of a stretch of games against teams that can run the football. At Baltimore against the Ravens, at New Orleans against the Saints, Atlanta, in Cincinnati. They did a pretty good job of containing the Atlanta Falcons running game. They were averaging over 165 yards a game coming in, and the Bengals only allowed 107. Now the Cleveland Browns, they're cut from that same cloth. They're running it for 163.5 yards a game. They have the leading rusher in the NFL. They want to control the clock. They want to do what the Atlanta Falcons had done, and that is long, time-consuming drives. Minimize your possessions. They don't want you to have the football at all. They want to play keep away. The Bengals have to control and contain that running game first and foremost. Let's talk explosives. That's going to be a big factor in this football game. And I'm not talking about dynamite. I'm talking about big plays, plays of 20 yards or more. The Cincinnati Bengals have lost 12 straight road games on primetime television. The Bengals have not won in Cleveland since 2017. A big deal to reverse that and to end those two skids, end those two streaks, get some explosive plays. Against Atlanta last week, they had 10 plays of 20 yards or more. 9 of them were passes, and one was a 20-yard run that Joe Burrow, when he scrambled up the middle, he saw there was no linebackers. They were playing man coverage. They vacated. Once he saw a lane, he saw green grass, 20-yard run. Other than that, 9 passes of 20 yards or more. 6 of those occurred on first down. Bengals are going to have to be explosive every down. First down, second down, third down. Be in third and manageable situations where you can run it or throw it and get the defense back on their heels a little bit. Explosives are going to be massive. The Atlanta Falcons only had one explosive. They had a 75-yard touchdown on a broken coverage, or it wasn't handled properly. And that's the only play of 20 yards or more that they had. Can't allow the Cleveland Browns to have explosive runs. And then if they get that running game going, play action pass and get some explosions through the air as well with Jacoby Brissett. What they have to do is, like we talked about earlier, control that running game, make the Cleveland Browns play left-handed, make Jacoby Brissett have to win the football game with explosives. Defense has to control the running game, minimize explosives from Jacoby Brissett. The Bengals offense has to get some explosives, get big chunks against this Cleveland Brown defense. Let's talk about edge pressure. It's going to be a factor in this football game. Hendrickson and Hubbard, they each had a sack in last week's football game against the Atlanta Falcons. Hendrickson has 3.5 sacks on the season. Hubbard has 2.5. They've combined for 6 sacks. Myles Garrett for the Cleveland Browns has 6 sacks by himself. His team has 14. He almost has half the sacks. He's a game wrecker. They've faced T.J. Watt. They've faced Micah Parsons. They faced Grady Jarrett, inside game wrecker at defensive tackle for the Atlanta Falcons. They're back to the edge again with Myles Garrett. Can't let Myles Garrett dictate in his favor for the Cleveland Browns. Punch him. Make him counterpunch. Don't let him punch you, and you have to do the counterpunching. On the other side of it, The H-boys, get after it on the edge. Control that Cleveland Brown running game and get after quarterback Jacoby Brissett to the best of your ability on a series-by-series basis. I think that's going to be a big deal in this football game. Who's going to be able to protect? The offensive line is giving Joe Burrow much better protection. He's not only is he not getting hit, but he's seeing the field better. They're giving him time and they're giving him space. When you give Joe Burrow space, and at 6'4" plus, he looks over that pressure. He can see the football field. If you keep people out of his face, he can see it. When he sees it, he diagnoses it like that, and he puts the ball at the right place, and he puts the ball at the right place accurately. Protection, pressure in this football game going to be a big, big deal. Both have to go in the Bengals' favor. Another big factor, as is the case every single week at every single level of football, turnovers. Have to take care of the football. The Cleveland Browns only have 2 interceptions on the season, tied for third fewest in the National Football League. A couple of teams only have 1 interception. Cleveland's amongst a handful of teams that just have 2. Joe Burrow is on a streak. Since the opener, Joe Burrow has thrown 13 touchdown passes and only 1 interception. Going to have to continue along those lines. It's going to be a big, big deal. Ball security, protect the football in terms of tight, high and tight, running the football as well. No fumbles. Bengals defense caused some fumbles, knocked the ball out. Turnovers. Turnover ratio going to be a factor in the football game. Against Atlanta, it was a turnover-free game. Neither team suffered a turnover. The Bengals dominated the football game at the line of scrimmage, being more successful in all 3 phases, offensively, defensively, and special teams. Let's see if the Bengals can win the turnover ratio against the Cleveland Browns. Coming into the football game, Cleveland is -4 in the turnover department, tied for 26th in the National Football League. 6 takeaways, 10 giveaways. The Bengals are even Steven. 8 takeaways, 8 giveaways, and it's right in the middle of the pack. There are 32 teams in the league. They're tied for 16th. Got to finish in the plus department. Can't be any worse than even. Don't want to be minus. Win the turnover in the turnover department. You'll do well in the Battle of Ohio. Another big factor in the football game, handle the crowd. The dog pound, Cleveland Brown fans are as rabid as any in the National Football League. I can tell you from experience. I remember my second year in the league, I was a starting guard, and Bill Tiger Johnson said, "Put your helmet on when you go to the field for warm-ups." Like, why do I have to put my helmet on? We're not in pads yet. Put your helmet on. Came out of the dugout at Cleveland Municipal Stadium, got hit by golf balls, eggs, you name it. They were throwing it. So it is a crazy place to play. You're going to have to handle the crowd noise. You're going to have to handle the atmosphere. There's no 2 ways about it. Dog pound is real. The Cincinnati Bengals have done a good job with silent snap counts, minimizing penalties on the road. Again, the Bengals have not beaten the Browns up in Cleveland since 2017. That has to stop. Got to get a division win. They've lost to the Steelers, lost to the Ravens. Can't afford to lose to the Browns and go 0-3 in the division. Not going to be easy up in the dog pound. The dog pound's fully aware that the Bengals have lost 2 division games. You don't think that that's going to be raining down on the Bengals' ears from that fan base? I can tell you that it will be. Bengals are going to have to handle it. Block out all distractions, block out crowd noise, focus on the football game. I can also speak from experience. Do not acknowledge anybody in the dog pound. When you're a rookie, they target you. Dog pound targets you. As soon as you turn to acknowledge what they say or to disagree with what they say or whatever the case may be, you are going to get hit by more than golf balls and eggs. You're talking baseballs. You're talking everything that can be thrown. They're throwing it at you. Bottles, full bottles, empty bottles. It doesn't matter. They're bringing it. It's a crazy place to play. Got to handle the environment up at the dog pound. Another key to this football game, be a pro. You got a long week, extra day of preparation for the Cleveland Browns game. Don't do something on that extra time that you wouldn't do on a normal week. Don't go out celebrating. Don't change your diet. Don't change your sleep pattern. Don't go out partying with that extra night that you might have. Be a pro. Dedicate yourself to the schedule that you've been on that's worked for you successfully in terms of taking care of your body in the proper fashion. Rest, diet. You're going to get plenty of exercise. You don't have to worry about that. But don't do just one day of messing with it can affect your performance. That's how highly tuned these bodies are with these professional athletes. Be smart about it. Don't slip up. Don't do anything you shouldn't do. Don't fall to temptation. Take care of your body. Take care of yourself. Short week, it's even more important. You have a short week after the Cleveland Brown game, before the Carolina Panthers. Diet, proper rest, all those are even more vitally important. So you can't be out, catting on Tuesday night after getting in Tuesday morning at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning from the Monday night game. Get some rest. Get more rest. Eat better. Take care of yourself. Be a pro. Be a pro's pro. I think this football team has got they're made of the right stuff. They've got the right attitude. I don't have concerns in that regard. And I think teammates will take care of each other in that regard. But it's important. Be a pro.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right.
Gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out FirstStarLogistics.com.